and happy Wednesday, February 8th, 2023, and welcome to a brand new edition of what we like to call the Clash of Le Champions. I am your host, the vegan you believe in, Kurt Cadet, in the flesh as always, and this man, he needs no introduction.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is his tag team partner, none other than Jonathan Randall. Here's Johnny. Here's our show, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, we're still on the road to WrestleMania, on the road to Hollywood. Let's get to it, Kurt.
Yes, let us get to it. And we had the Royal Rumble about 10 days ago, and it was a very noteworthy event to say the very least. And from that event, we got pretty much an idea of what matches we're going to see at WrestleMania and officially what matches we will see at WrestleMania. So we're not going to waste any time. Let's jump into the review for the Royal Rumble. Before the show started, we were greeted with the return of Pat McAfee.
Yes. And you thought he was going to be in the Royal Rumble match.
I was thinking he would be, but believe it or not, actually, Michael Cole and Corey Graves did not know he was going to be out there until he was introduced.
Yeah, and that's good, though, in a good way. You know, you like that surprise, and that surprise for Cole was very genuine and very real. So that's a good thing that they did that.
Yeah, Michael Cole said he had FaceTimed Pat McAfee earlier that day, and McAfee said he was in his studio and shit. So yeah, he figured he wouldn't be there. And then all of a sudden, when the show starts, McAfee comes out.
That's good. I like that. I like how they kept it a secret.
McAfee's plane supposedly didn't land until like 30 minutes before he came out.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Oh wow, that was fast.
Faster than your Chargers choked. But yeah, anyway, so yes, in the opening match.
Shut up, Kurt. Shut up. They're not as bad as your Knicks.
My Knicks are at least in the playoff picture still.
Well, they're not. That's the farthest they're going to make it.
They choked like Sergeant Slaughter had him in the Cobra Clutch. That's how bad they choked. All right, anyway. For the first time ever, the Royal Rumble pay-per-view opened with the men's Royal Rumble match.
That was a first, and that was a surprising first. And I was with it. I was okay with it, but yeah. And entering number one was Gunther.
Yes, the Intercontinental Champion entered at number one, and number two was Sheamus, which could be a sign of things to come, which I'll get into in a little bit. They opened the Royal Rumble. A couple people came out here and there, like your Miz's, your Kofi's, and Xavier Woods, all that other jazz, and Karrion Kross, who was made very easy work of, which I kind of found a little disturbing, actually, and I know you probably did too.
What?
For one, Karrion Kross lost to Rey Mysterio the night before, and for two, he was eliminated in very quick fashion in the Royal Rumble on this night. It feels like he's cooling off a little bit, at least for now.
It's not good, man. And it's not a good way to be cool off at this point in time right now, especially when you're starting off the new year. You know what I mean? When you're starting off the road to WrestleMania, it was a bit weird and disturbing to see that because, you know, I still am a big fan of this guy, but it's just like I don't know what's the plans for him moving forward. I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, neither do I. But moving on. Things start to spice up when Brock Lesnar comes out. Lesnar comes out, like throws a bunch of people out, dominates, and then we have a brief confrontation between Brock Lesnar and Gunther.
Didn't last long. Looked like they was about to get into it, but then they got Drew McIntyre and Sheamus pretty much disrupted that.
Yeah, it looked like it was about to happen, but yeah, it was just like very brief and like very uneventful. But I know that's definitely a match we will get at some point. But then as this is going on, Bobby Lashley comes out. Him and Brock have a confrontation that ultimately leads to Lashley clotheslining Lesnar out of the ring and eliminating his ass.
Oh, yeah. And when I saw that, it was reminiscent of 3 years ago.
When Drew eliminated him. Yeah, kind of very similar fashion. Very similar way.
Yeah. When you knew from that moment, like, oh, we already have a WrestleMania matchup right there. So when I saw that between Bobby and Brock, I was like, oh, okay. Definitely not done between these two.
Yes, and then Brock, no surprise, did not take this well. He picked up the steps and freaking slammed them on the top of the announce table.
Yep.
Freaking, and the referees are trying to hold him back, and he shoves the referees off. He like shoved one of the referees over the railing, which supposedly got him some heat backstage.
Yeah, I thought it was part of it though, but apparently it wasn't. I was just like, the hell, and when I heard the news, but yeah, he was a raging lunatic after he got
Yeah, he
eliminated.
attacked he attacked he
Surprisingly,
attacked Baron Corbin in the
yeah,
process also while he was outside the ring.
yeah. And Lesnar exited through the fans, not back to the stage. But yeah, yeah, did easily he did not take that elimination well.
No, he did not. So yes, that was the end of Brock's night, which is kind of to be honest, like him getting eliminated so early and whatnot was kind of a letdown, but is what it is.
Do you think it would have been better if he was been there a little bit longer and then got eliminated, or is just the fact how what he got eliminated too soon?
Yeah, it felt like it was kind of like in and out, and the way he got eliminated by Lashley, it kind of felt like very similar, like we said a minute ago, to the Drew McIntyre elimination from a few years back. So it didn't have that like kind of same, I guess, shock value. Yeah, shock value.
Hmm.
All right, but anyway, moving on. Rey Mysterio's number hits, but there's no Rey Mysterio. Rey Mysterio's nowhere to be found. And then the next person comes out, and that next person is his son Dominic, who comes out rocking Rey Mysterio's mask, pretty much insinuating that Dominic attacked Mysterio backstage, causing him to miss his turn.
Yeah.
And the heat Dominic got was out of this damn world.
Uh, Wearing a mask, just Dominic is really just adopting to this whole "I'm in prison, I just got out of prison" whole vibe, and it's just I don't know what to say.
Maybe they should make The Longest Yard Part 2 and he could be the co-star of it.
Well, you should have been in, blood out.
And I feel like the way Michael Cole responds to Dominic reminds me of like when the way Jim Ross would respond to Triple H when Triple H would like do an evil act.
Are you serious?
Yeah, freaking Michael Cole was losing his mind when Dominic came out rocking Ray's mask. He was freaking on one.
Dang.
And hell, even at Extreme Rules, when like I think Edge like low blow Dominic, Michael Cole was like, "Good, good, good, get that piece of crap out of the ring." All right, but anyway, I was doing a buy or sell with my cousin yesterday of which son is the bigger scumbag, Dominic Mysterio or Tariq from Power.
Hmm. I would go with Dominic after what I saw, what he did during Thanksgiving. That was like so low. Of all family holidays, so low.
I mean, Tariq did kill his own dad. All right, but anyway, yeah. So Dominic comes out, and the other Judgment Day members are out there. But then number 23 comes out, and it turns out to be Hall of Famer Booker T, who does a quick spinneroonie, nice little pop from the crowd, but then he's eliminated by Gunther in very easy fashion, and that was the end of his night.
Yeah, you shouldn't expect the legends to stay in there that long. You know, we've seen this before in a Rumble. You know what I mean, and also because of their age. You know what I mean. So to see Booker T there, yes, it was great seeing him there though. So, but you shouldn't expect anything more.
Yeah, people were bitching about like the way he was treated during that spot and whatnot, and saying that he was buried by Gunther. And Booker T responded on his
No,
podcast saying that I would rather job to Gunther than have Gunther job to me at this stage.
thank you.
Yeah, Booker T's like in his 50s now. He's not a full-time wrestler anymore.
No, he's not.
He was only meant to be in that match for that one quick cameo, and that was it. That's all he needed
Right.
to do.
Just like any other legend that appears at the Royal Rumble every year. So it's like it's no difference. At least he did a spinneroonie.
That's all he needed to do.
Right.
Yeah, but then yeah, but Booker T even said
He
himself.
did a bookend. He did a bookend, thank God. So
Yeah, but Booker did say after this that he thinks he's done. He doesn't think he's gonna be wrestling anymore.
no. No, I mean, it has nothing to prove, you know what I mean? So and that's okay. To know when to walk away.
Yes, it's always good to know when to walk away. And then number 24 came out, and number 24 was the returning Edge, who no one had seen since Extreme Rules came out, eliminated both members of
Hmm.
Judgment Day, being Finn Balor and Damian Priest. And as he was attempting to eliminate Dominic, Balor and Damian Priest came in and interfered and helped get Edge eliminated.
Nah.
And then Edge brawled with the two of them to the back, all the way down that long ass ramp. He like brawled with the both of them. But then as he was brawling with them, Rhea Ripley came out and attacked Edge from behind. And as Rhea Ripley was standing over Edge, someone came out standing behind her. And
We saw the return of Beth Phoenix.
yes, and that someone was Beth Phoenix, who stared her down. And as Rhea Ripley turned around, she greeted her with a spear. And freaking Rhea looked like she was in a world of pain after that shit. She looked like she was suffering,
Right.
suffering.
Suffering, but how bad was the suffering going to last for her, knowing that she was going to be in the Royal Rumble later that night?
Yes, and then we have the match further progresses, and we have Logan Paul come out. We also have Ricochet come out, and then we had number 30 come out, which turned out to be the returning
Finally,
Cody Rhodes.
yes.
Which I kind of wish they hadn't have him come out at 30. I wish they had like done it as another number, so it would have been like maybe more of a surprise.
Um, I'm yes and no. I understand what you're saying about that, but you gotta understand that he hasn't been in the ring, that long. You know what I mean? So like that little bit of the ring rust you got to worry about. Even though he did take a beating from Gunther.
Took a beating from everyone. So like it gets down to the nitty gritty, and there is one amazing spot that happens towards the end of the match where
Yeah,
Logan Paul and Ricochet double clothesline each other in the midair.
yeah.
they do the
That
springboard from the top rope, and then both just double clothesline each other while they were high up in the air, and they both just crash
yeah.
to the ground.
We could honestly already. We're literally. It was only like 1 month into 2023. Already, it's a nomination for Pitcher of the Year.
Yo, that shit was madness. You thought the Hogan and Warrior double clothesline was something from 1990? That shit was that and then some.
Logan Paul, so far he has really good. He knows how to get some big moments with his pitchers, man, in his matches. We saw that amazing shot of him of when he tried to springboard clothesline against Roman at a Crown Jewel. That was a nice picture. I like that. But this
Yeah,
one right here,
and it took him out so hard that you almost didn't even know that he was still in the match at one point,
mm-hmm, yeah,
which he would use to his advantage as he would eliminate Seth Rollins as Seth Rollins was distracted.
yeah, hell yeah, and that was a shocker right there. I was already saw as a Oat Mania, and
Yep, it's gonna
Rollins did
happen.
not take it well. Yeah, and we'll get into that later though. But yeah, that was surprising to see that, and wow.
Yeah, so then Logan Paul's eventually eliminated by Cody. So it comes down to Cody and Gunther. The first time the Royal Rumble ever came down to the number one entrant and the number 30th entrant.
Yeah. Yup. And man, that you know what? I liked how it lasted. You see, usually, Kurt, when there's the last two in a Royal Rumble, you know what I mean? Usually it doesn't last that long between the two. It usually lasts about a couple of minutes or so. You know what I mean? But this one lasted long. I think the last time I seen something like that where the last two wrestlers are in the ring with each other for long periods of time. I have to go back to about 15 plus years ago between Shawn Michaels and Undertaker at that Royal Rumble back in '07.
Same city too, in San Antonio.
Yeah, yeah. But I like how they lasted that long, man. And like I alluded to earlier, yeah, Cody took a little he took a beating, man, and getting those chops to the same area where he tore his pec, dude. I was a bit worried.
Yeah, he definitely took a lashing from Gunther, and you almost thought that he like tore his pec all over again, but luckily it did not go down that
Yeah,
way.
yeah.
It did come down
Mm-hmm.
to Gunther and Cody. They had a nice little exchange for a few minutes, but ultimately
Mm-hmm.
the outcome was never in doubt as Cody eventually eliminated Gunther, and Cody Rhodes is your 2023 Royal Rumble winner, and he will challenge Roman Reigns for the title at WrestleMania.
Yes, as we predicted, as we knew what was going to happen, I predicted this months ago. Congratulations to Cody Rhodes. The journey is not done yet, but so far the journey. I love the journey right now. You come back at WrestleMania last year. You have an amazing feud with Seth Rollins, but unfortunately you tear his pectoral muscle and he ends up missing the rest of the year. And now he comes back to the Royal Rumble, and now he is on to WrestleMania. But let's not leave out. the spectacular performance by Gunther, Kurt. He came in at number one, lasted over like more like an hour.
Hour and 11 minutes. He lasted the longest for any
Yes,
traditional Royal Rumble in history. I'm not counting the greatest Royal Rumble bullshit,
yes,
but like as far as the traditional Royal Rumbles, he now holds the record
mm.
for longest time in there.
Yes. Mm.
Impressive feat.
I was yes, very impressive, and I was having this talk with my coworker. I think it was like the day after. He was telling me after what he saw for that performance at the Royal Rumble from Gunther, keep your eyes out on him throughout the rest of this year. He could be gunning for a world title shot.
Very possible. Very possible. But for now, he's still the Intercontinental Champion, and there is a specific match I'd like to see him
Mm-hmm.
in at WrestleMania, which we will get into later.
Mm.
But yes, Cody, as we all predicted, did win the Royal Rumble. It was the right outcome, predictable or not predictable. It was the way it should have turned out, and I'm happy with it. And the way it's looking right now, it's going to be an interesting road to WrestleMania.
Oh hell yeah, man! I'm excited, man. Oh,
And from what I'm hearing, Cody's actually drawing well on the house shows. I heard like last weekend they had a bunch of house shows, and
oh
the
yeah.
attendance was up for them because Cody was on the card.
Oh, that's good to hear. You see,
It's a good sign,
glad to
man.
hear. Hell yeah, I'm glad to hear that.
Yeah, so we'll see how it goes in the coming months. But I did like that
Mm-hmm.
promo on Raw the 2 nights later when Judgment Day came to approach Cody, and
Mm-hmm.
Dominic was talking shit to Cody about how he eliminated him and saying that if you had done that in prison, you would have got.
You see,
You
I
got
told
got.
you, Dominic can't handle the smoke. You know. Oh my god,
Shit is hilarious. All right, but
it
moving
is.
on. All right, but moving on. Let's review the rest of this show. We
Hmm.
had the Mountain Dew Pitch Black match. Was that what the fuck it was called?
Well, okay. Could we cut them some slack for a little bit? Do you know how much they got offered just to do that match because of the promotion?
Well, I'm sure they got offered a pretty penny. I know, but still, that doesn't excuse what we
A
saw.
million. I know, but that's but still. Yeah, that was weird. It was like I was watching a rave, Kurt.
Yeah, it was basically like watching a rave only without the drugs. So what fun is that?
Yeah. Huh.
I'm just talking shit. But yeah, anyway, we had LA Knight against Bray Wyatt in the Mountain Dew Pitch Black match. Well, I didn't know what the hell to expect from this match going into it because I'd never heard of this kind of match before.
I was expecting Mountain Dew to be out there.
It was just basically a glow in the dark match. That's all it was. And then Bray Wyatt ultimately won with his sister Abigail. And then after the match, he laid out LA Knight like an entranceway with a mandible claw. And then that Uncle Howie or whatever the fuck that dude who looks like the dude from the Leprechaun.
That's a good point.
Dead ass, bro.
No, you're right.
Looking like he
You're
looking
right. I mean, he does look.
looking like he's searching for his golden treasure or some shit. And he's gonna like be cashing bodies if he doesn't find it.
Yes.
Remember when they had the Leprechaun movie when he goes to Vegas?
Wait, what?
Yeah, they had a Leprechaun movie when he went to Vegas. They had another one
No.
when he goes to the hood.
Well, that I know that one though, but not Vegas. What the hell?
I mean, the hood one's already bad enough. The Vegas one is pretty much on the same level.
Yeah.
Yeah, that Vegas one was ass.
Uh,
Yeah, that Uncle Howie motherfucker jumped off like the part of the state, a part of the entrance, and like elbow dropped LA Knight, and like a big explosion happened or some shit, and that was the end of it. But yeah, this
mhm.
this man, this wasn't very interesting, honestly. I couldn't wait for this shit to be over.
Yeah, I kind of that was a snooze. I kind of went away from the TV for a little bit, and gladly so. And even if I was there in person, I would have did the same thing. That would have been a good time for me to go to the restroom or do whatever I wanted to do. But yeah, it was just something I just wanted to look away from.
Yeah, less we say about that match, the better. So let's move on to the next match. For the Raw Women's Championship, we had Bianca Belair defending against Alexa Bliss.
Yes.
And also, I have to admit, this match also wasn't really anything to write home about. It was kind of, just there. Some people even claim that it was just like kind of like a regular match you would see on Raw.
I feel you.
Yeah, because like if you compare it to like Bianca's like last few matches on pay per view, it's like not even close.
No, 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 no. You could just say it was like a fill-in. We knew that
Yeah,
Bianca was gonna. We knew she was gonna win. There's no way in the world she was gonna drop the belt at the Royal Rumble when you knowing that you're going to WrestleMania. No, So yeah, Bianca won. It was an okay match, but you wanted to get over with and move on and see what is next for her moving forward.
yeah, it was obvious like that. This whole feud and match was basically just something to keep her busy in the meantime until WrestleMania. So it was
Hmm.
what it was. Bianca retained with the KOD, but then after the match, like Bray Wyatt and Uncle Howie dude showed up on the screen, kind of like taunting Alexa and getting inside of her head, and that was basically the end of it. But it's
Hmm.
coming out now that Alexa Bliss is going to be taking some time away from TV.
Yeah, yeah. I just heard that yesterday. I was about to get into that, and then I don't know. Like, part of me is like, I don't know what was going to be the plans for her for WrestleMania, but then at the same time, you're like, if they did, that's kind of like a little bit of bad timing. I'm not, judging her on what she wants to do because, mentally, maybe, she just needs some time off, and I respect that. That's for anybody. But at the same time, it is somewhat like of a bad time because it's like where WrestleMania is on the horizon, and you don't know what the plans are or what was going to be the plans for her moving forward.
Well, to be honest, we don't even know if she's going to even be gone like super long. She could even be back in time for Mania. That's very possible.
Hmm.
So we don't know for sure
Right.
how long she's going to be gone for, but we'll see. But it was kind of strange because it kind of felt like they was just starting with this new storyline with her. But it is what it is.
Yeah, you see what I mean? Especially after what happened after that match. So yeah, that's why I go back to the fact that it is somewhat a little bit of like bad timing, maybe a little bit, but I don't know.
Yeah, but moving on, we had the women's Royal Rumble match, and it started with Rhea Ripley coming in at number one and Liv Morgan coming in at number two.
Hmm.
And honestly, this match didn't really have a super lot of surprises or super amount of like crazy moments or like what the fuck moments, etc. There was like one spot where like Becky got eliminated by Bailey and the Damage Control Girls, and then Liv Morgan eliminated Bailey right afterwards, which is dope. I'll say that much.
Right.
As far as surprises go, the surprises we got were Michelle McCool, who was actually sitting in the front row when her number was called.
That was weird. I've never seen an entry like that. We see an entry from the announcers. If they're at the announce table, they'll come in. We've seen that from Jerry Lawler back in '97. We saw that with Michael Cole, but no,
Jake
never have
Hager.
I seen. Yeah, but never have I seen it. Somebody enter the Royal Rumble from the stands. That's a first, but
Yeah, that was different. And then I was expecting kind of Beth Phoenix to be in the Rumble match because she attacked Rhea
me
Ripley
too.
earlier, but didn't happen.
Me
Whatever.
too.
But
Yeah.
the number 30 entrant was a bit of a surprise, and they kind of fucked it up. Actually, they botched it because they had the person music play before the 30th some number went off, and that person was the
Eh.
returning Nia Jax.
I was not expecting to see her. I'm being dead serious when I say that. I was not
Nobody
expecting that.
was.
Yeah. Wow. I was speechless. I was like, wow, especially after what happened. And I had one of my friends ask me, hey, is she, back for good? And I told him, I was like, I think that was just like a one night thing, if I'm being quite honest.
Yeah, she was in there briefly, but ultimately all the girls ganged up on her and eliminated her, and then that was the end of Nia Jax's night.
Yeah.
Yeah, but apparently, from what I understand, this was just a one-off, and that
Hmm.
she's not coming back full time.
Right.
I did like seeing the pictures of her backstage with all the other Bloodline people and whatnot.
Oh,
That
of
was pretty cool to
course.
see.
And The Rock's mom and grandma.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, whatchamacallit? Oh, there was also one more surprise in the Royal Rumble match, and that was the return of Chelsea Green, who was eliminated in very easy and quick fashion by Rhea Ripley. And I think she might have broken the Bushwhacker record, if I'm not mistaken, or at least for the women.
Good lord.
You still haven't watched the 91 Royal Rumble, so I'll let you in on what that is. In the 91 Royal Rumble, Bushwhacker Luke comes in doing the Bushwhacker walk. And as he walks right into the ring, Earthquake just grabs him and throws him out. And then as he goes out, he just continues doing the Bushwhacker walk to the back.
I think I do remember seeing like clips of that, highlights of that. So yeah, but I'll still need to watch it though.
Yeah, but anyway, yes, so Nia Jax was eliminated, and it ultimately comes down to Rhea Ripley and Liv Morgan, who were the first two, and also Asuka, who came out with a new look, with new face paint and new music.
Yeah, she has the. I love her mask for one thing. I love the mask, and she always wears a mask. She wears like a regular mask though, but this one was different. She had like the dragon mask, and I love that one better. But I was not expecting her to wear paint, very intimidating paint.
This is reminiscent of the character she would do when she was in Japan.
Ah, I see. I see.
It came down to the three of them. The three of them were on the apron, all about to in grave danger of being eliminated. And then Asuka sprayed the green mist into Liv Morgan's eyes. And as Liv Morgan was blinded, Rhea Ripley knocked Asuka off of the apron onto the floor. And as this goes on, Liv Morgan knocks Rhea Ripley off the apron, and Rhea Ripley's about to fall on the floor, but she somehow holds on, and her feet don't touch. She's like dangerously close to them touching, but she still holds on. And then she puts Liv in a head scissors and knocks her to the floor. And Rhea Ripley is the 2023 Women's Royal Rumble winner and the first woman to ever do it from the number one spot.
Nice. Indeed, his history was made, and you were right. She won the Royal Rumble, and she is going on to WrestleMania. And I'll get into more moving forward. Well, I mean, should I go ahead and say it, or
Yeah, let's just talk about it real fast.
we all thought? Look, I'm going to be straight up with you, and we both said this too. We all thought that she was going to challenge Bianca Belair, but apparently that wasn't the case. As the next night on Raw, Rhea Ripley announced that she wants to challenge Charlotte Flair.
Yes,
And when I really think about this, I mean, it did surprise me, but you know what, Kurt? It doesn't, because she hasn't forgotten about what happened 3 years ago.
yeah, no, she has not forgotten that, and also what happened at Money in the Bank 2 years ago as well, when their feud reignited.
Yeah.
But especially
And
the WrestleMania memory is especially a painful one.
well, yeah, that one too, though. And I was very like that really turned me off. And I had said that before. And because Charlotte did not have to win that match. I just thought, like, I don't see what was the purpose behind that. But guess what? That's 3 years ago, and now Rhea Ripley has the chance to redeem herself and to make turn a wrong into a right now.
Yes, and a part of me is a little bummed that you didn't pick Bianca because I've been like dying to see that match for a long ass time. But
I wanted to see that too, though.
the story with Charlotte does make sense, and more than
Yeah.
anything else, I know it'll be a good ass match.
Oh hell yeah. So now, I mean, with that being in stone between Charlotte and Rhea Ripley, now what's going to be the news for Bianca? What's going to happen with
Well,
her now moving forward?
we'll get into all that in a few minutes when we talk about our Elimination Chamber card. But moving on with the Royal Rumble event, we have the main events. As it was Roman Reigns defending the Undisputed Universal Championship against Kevin Owens for the third time at the Royal Rumble event.
Hmm.
And I have to say, this was by far the weakest out of their matches at this event. But
True.
this wasn't about the match. This was about what would take place afterwards.
Yeah, because there was so much going on. You could say like towards the end of the match, that's when things started to pick up.
But in the end, Roman laid out Kevin Owens with a spear, got the pin, and predictably so retained his championship. But after the match, they were not finished with Kevin Owens.
No, I'm sorry. Before that match ended, before Roman had won, I just like that sequence where Roman was like yelling at Sami Zayn to get the chair.
Oh yes, that did
I
happen.
mean, and Sammy kind of like he a little bit hesitated a little bit, and I know this may sound a little bit silly, but I kind of got a little bit of like a relapse of like Triple H and Eugene back at Vengeance in 2004 when Triple H was telling Eugene to get the chair. Eugene was kind of like hesitant to do it, but he still did it. So when I saw that, it was kind of like, oof. But like I said, it will get worse at the end of the match.
So Roman retain. Yeah, so Roman retains, and then they're not finished with Kevin Owens yet, as they all attack him. They continue to attack him. They handcuff him to the ropes. And as Roman is about to hit Kevin Owens with a chair, Sami Zayn gets in the way. And he tries to talk
Mm.
Roman out of it, saying, like, yo, this is beneath you. You don't need to do this. You're the tribal chief. There's nothing more to prove. And then Roman hands the chair to Sami and demands that Sami be the one to hit Kevin Owens with the chair.
Were we going to see the same thing just like we did at Survivor Series?
Yeah, and he's like berating Sami, saying, like, I care about you. I love you. He's been trying to take you away from me. So let's finish this. Let's finish this once for all. You're a part of the bloodline. You're our family. If you don't want to be a part of this, you can go back to doing jackass shit. And then Sammy continues to hesitate. And then Roman starts to notice that Sammy's crying. He proceeds to get into Sammy's face. He pie faces him a few times. And then he demands that Sammy hit Kevin Owens with the chair, but as Roman's back is turned, Sami Zayn hits Roman with the chair to, I kid you not, one of the loudest pops I've ever heard in my life. Bro,
D.
that pop, man.
Did you
That fucking
see the?
pop.
I know it, and I was expecting it. If I'm being honest, but at the same time, that whole sequence, man, it's just like you're on the edge of your seat. I loved it, but also, Kurt, did you see the look on Roman's face once he got hit?
Yes, I did. And this whole thing, when Roman got hit with the chair by Sammy, it was very reminiscent of the night when Seth Rollins turned on him and Dean Ambrose.
Of course, oh, PTSD, Kurt.
Yeah, very reminiscent of that.
Oh my god! I tell you what. I'll tell you one thing. Roman's not gonna trust anybody anymore. He's gonna be like watching his back from now on, dude. I'm telling you right now, man.
Literally.
I'm gonna laugh. I'm gonna laugh again if it's like another couple years, a few years from now, where it happens to Roman again, where somebody stabs him in the back with a steel chair.
Anything's possible. Yeah, but then Sammy like just tells everyone that he's sorry. He like drops the chair down, which was a stupid ass move. And then Jimmy Uso and
I know, because if it would have been us, we would have did something different. We would have hit everybody, right?
yeah, but like just knowing that he's outnumbered, he's gonna freaking drop the chair down.
Yeah, didn't make no sense.
All right, but anyway, Solo Sequoia and Jimmy Uso proceed to attack Sammy. They lay him out with the Samoan spike, super kicks, and all that jazz. And as they're all attacking him, and then Roman joins in on it as well, Jay Uso's just standing at the corner in disgust, and he just can't bring himself to join in on the attack. So instead of joining in on the attack, he leaves the ring.
Yeah, that.
And he was literally crying as he was walking away from this, also, if you noticed.
Yeah, I mean, it's just so funny how like early last year, like several months ago, Jay wasn't cool with him, and then after Survivor Series, he's cool with Sami Zayn, and you see that it's just so much emotion, man. Raw emotion. That's all it was.
Yeah.
That whole segment alone. Sooner or later, see, like the one thing that we have to learn from this, Kurt, is that sooner or later it was gonna implode.
Yeah, it was inevitable.
Yeah, but the thing is, you ask yourself when it was gonna happen. It was like the perfect time, the right time to do it, and just how the way it just ended, how it imploded was perfect storytelling.
Sammy like not wanting to attack Kevin Owens, and then he turns on Roman, and then as the Bloodline's attacking Sammy, Jay Uso like just can't bring himself to do it, and he just leaves. And then after all this happens, Roman just lays out Sammy with the chair multiple times, and then just leaves him and Kevin Owens laying as they leave the ring. And arguably one of the best endings to a Royal Rumble pay per view they've ever done.
I've never seen an ending like that
No,
ever. They never do an ending like that. Usually, you just like majority of the time you have your Royal Rumble winner and that's it. And And then, sometimes if it's a championship match and it's over and that's it. But never have I seen an ending like that with a shocking conclusion where you just don't know, like, well, damn, what's going to happen next, you know?
When I saw that the men's Royal Rumble was going to open the show and that Roman and Kevin Owens was going to be the close of the show, I knew something was going to happen. I knew that,
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
yeah, some shit was going down. And this shit was as memorable as anything they could have done. And it got over 20 million views on their YouTube channel within 24 hours.
I know. And it just, you've seen it all, man, like all over, just how the reaction to it. And you know what, Kurt, I'm going to ask you this. Could you say this is top five? Is one of the best storylines in wrestling history.
I don't know if I could rank it that high, but it's by far probably the best overall in the last decade.
Okay.
But overall, how would you rate the Rumble as a show overall?
Um, I'm like a 7 out of 10.
I was gonna rate it the same. I felt like both Rumble matches, the men and the women's one, they were fine, but like nothing really mind blowing. But both did have great endings. Both had great endings, and both had the right outcomes and the right winners.
It was just the reason why I rated it a 10, because like the only good things from that event, Kurt, of course you mentioned both of the Royal Rumble matches, and then you have the last match. It wasn't the match itself for the main event. I'm morely talking about the ending after the match. Other than that, outside of it, the Bianca and Alexa Bliss was Bray Wyatt versus LA Knight was just and then everybody was very, very critical on the music performance from Hardy, saying that it just wasn't good. Even the WWE wasn't even like happy with it as well.
I wasn't trying to watch that shit, especially at that point in the show.
Yeah, I know. I didn't watch it either, though. I'm just saying, like, I heard just like a lot of like backlash from it. So that's like one of the reasons why I rate that show a 7 out of 10. It was just,
Yeah, anyway, like the bad performance aside from that one dude, the show was still overall solid and it accomplished what it needed to. And that angle at the end was very well done. And this show broke a lot of records too. It was the largest audience in Royal Rumble history, set the record for the all time gate for Royal Rumble history with $7.7 million. The merchandise sales were
Mhm.
up 135% from last year. Yeah, 200 million plus video views across every platform, and sponsorship revenue was up nearly 200% from last year also.
Yeah, a lot of stuff that event did.
Whether you loved the show or hated the show or in the middle, the show was definitely a success. There's no argument from me on that.
Financially, yeah.
All right, but now that the Royal Rumble is behind us, we are on the road to WrestleMania. And the next stop on that road to WrestleMania will be next Saturday in Montreal for the Elimination Chamber show.
Yes.
And I have to be honest, this is one sexy ass looking card right now.
It is. See, usually we have elimination chamber matches as for the world title, but this ain't going to be the case for this year's, because this elimination chamber match that we're going to be having on for the men's side will be for United States Championship between Austin Theory, Seth Rollins, Johnny Gargano, Bronson Reed, Damian Priest, and Montez Ford.
Yeah, it's a nice little lineup,
It
and since the
is.
title is already decided for what match they're gonna do with Mania, I guess that's the second title in command for what they could do a chamber match for, which I don't mind. And it has a great lineup.
Mm-hmm.
It has a good ass lineup.
Yeah.
This will be Montez Ford's like first like singles, I guess technically singles match of the pay per view.
Yeah, I'll love to see how well he's going to do in that match. You know what I mean? And also,
I think
like,
he's gonna have a standout performance. I
yeah,
think I think Bronson Reed will probably impress a lot too.
oh, absolutely. He's the no pun intended, but he is like the big man in this match, and I believe he will be dominant in this match.
Yes, it's gonna be fun to watch. That chamber match should be definitely better than the one we got last year, the Saudi Arabia one.
Oh yeah, wow.
Yeah, I remember like we were complaining a few months ago about Theory cashing in for the United States title and also the fact that he didn't win. But in this case, I don't mind them doing a chamber match for the US title.
No, no, yeah, yeah. I remember that. I was like, why are they doing? I was like, huh? And then when you see with Sammy and Roman, I was like, okay, okay. I was like, yeah. it makes sense. So
And since Rhea Ripley chose Charlotte Flair as her opponent for WrestleMania, that leaves the Raw Women's Championship. I'm sorry, that leaves the Raw Women's Champion without an opponent for WrestleMania, but that opponent is going to be decided in the Women's Elimination Chamber match. Even though half of the people from this match are from SmackDown, that's another story. The participants are going to be Asuka, Liv Morgan, Nikki Cross, and Raquel Rodriguez, who are all the last four women in the Women's Royal Rumble besides Rhea Ripley. And also added to the match, Natalia, as well as the returning Carmella.
yeah, I was happy to see Carmella back, but
Yes.
interesting to see how this is going to turn out on next Saturday.
Yeah, I like this little lineup. It should be a fun match too. But I think I know who will win, but I'll give that prediction next week. And also added to the show as of Monday on Raw, we're gonna have a mixed tag match, which will feature Edge and Beth Phoenix against Finn Balor and Rhea Ripley.
This has to end, and it will end. It will end, or maybe it won't. I feel like something's going to happen at Mania, but yeah,
I think this match is probably gonna further set up a match for Edge and Finn Balor going into WrestleMania. More,
that's what I heard.
more than
That's what
likely.
I heard. Hmm.
And I thought like from how they went off on Raw last week, they were gonna do a 6-man tag or 6-person tag with like Rhea, Finn Balor, and Dominic against Edge, Beth
Hmm.
Phoenix, and also Cody. But I guess they're not gonna go in that route.
Oh,
Is what it is though. But apparently Edge can't get enough of touching Beth Phoenix's ass from some of the pictures I've been seeing
I've
online.
been seeing. Yeah, I know the videos too. I've been seeing that a lot.
Shit. I guess he really likes that new hairdo a lot. And what I predicted they would do on this show is going to happen, especially considering what happened out at the end of the Royal Rumble event. It's going to be Roman Reigns defending the Undisputed Universal Championship against the hometown hero, Sami Zayn.
Yes, that crowd is going to be wild.
It's going to be a night to remember next Saturday, man. With that crowd,
Yeah.
that atmosphere, with this story going on the way it's been going, bro, this shit is going to be what epic.
Can I say we're gonna get like I'm talking about crowd. I'm talking about the crowd. Okay. I mean, is it a bit too much if I say we may get like a vibe like at Survivor Series 1997 on just how wild the crowd is gonna be as far as the anticipation?
Oh, I have no doubt. They were in Montreal 6 months ago for SmackDown, and Sammy was treated like a rock star.
Oh, of course.
And that was 6 months ago. He's a much bigger deal now. That shit's gonna be no joke, man. That shit is
Oh, I
good.
believe
I
you.
wish I could be there.
Oh,
That's how I'm feeling. In a way, I kind of wish I could be there as I would want to be at WrestleMania.
right.
Some people are kind of complaining about the fact that like Sammy didn't win the Royal Rumble and that
Uh,
Sammy should be the one to face Roman at WrestleMania with the way the storyline's going, and that they
no,
should maybe make the match at WrestleMania a triple threat.
no, no. I'm gonna tell you what my coworker told me. What she, what he thinks is gonna happen. Something's gonna happen in that match between Sami Zayn and Roman. Jay's gonna get involved. Probably gonna cost Sammy the match. Kevin Owen gets involved. That pretty much will set up your tag match between Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn versus the Bloodline. I mean the Usos. I'm sorry.
Yeah, more than likely, but I just can't wait to see how this shit all plays out because they've
Yeah,
done everything so great and so well up to this point now that I'm just like, I just know on that night I'm going to be on the edge of my seats to see what happens next. And that's the making of a good story, man. And
absolutely.
that's the making of a good story where you can't wait to see what happens next.
No, I can't wait. And I'm just like I said, that crowd, man. The crowd is really gonna tell the story and just have your back, and then the fact that they're gonna be behind you is gonna says a lot. I can't wait for it. The whole event is like you said. This whole card is just super good.
Yeah, and look, I get that Sammy has a lot of momentum right now, and in some ways, maybe it would be cool if you were to go against Roman at Mania. But the way I look at it is that the person who beats Roman for the title, the person who finally vanquishes him, needs to be a person that they're going to be going with for the foreseeable future and somebody who's gonna like
Yeah.
really be that next guy. And I see Cody being that next guy more than I see
Right.
Sami being that next guy. And even Sami Zayn in an interview recently opened up about this, saying how he believes that he could be the WWE champion and he could hold it for a little while, but he's not somebody that the company would go with long term,
Thank
like the
you.
way they would with Brock, the way
Thank
they
you.
would with Roman and Cena. He knows like that he's not that guy, and that they don't see him as that guy.
I agree, and it's more like again, you think long term. There's a difference between long term and short term, and yeah, I mean, Cody Rhodes is that long term person, and I don't have a problem with seeing Sami Zayn hold a championship. I don't, but that's more like a short term plan more than a long term. You
Kind of,
know what I mean? And
kind of like when Mankind had the title. That would be the comparison I would make.
yeah, yeah. But it's just with, like I said, man, with everything that has happened, since last year and the injury and everything, I already said to myself, like, yeah, like he's gonna win the Royal Rumble when he comes back. That's a no brainer.
Yeah, it played out exactly the way it was supposed to. And like I said, I know
It's
that.
very sorry, it was like very similar, like when Triple H came back in 2002. I was only what 10 years old, and I was like a no brainer to me. It's like, yeah, this dude's gonna win the Royal Rumble.
Yeah, but despite what some people are saying, the crowd hasn't turned on Cody. That they still do seem to be behind him.
They somebody some fool said, like, what if they did? I was like, they're not. Stop it. They're not.
But and one of
Come
the
on.
reasons why I feel like they're gonna stay behind him is because of his promo skills, which were on full display this past Monday on Raw during a segment with him and Paul Heyman.
Yeah. Oh my God. Wow.
Yeah, Cody was out giving a.
If it was one word, I'm sorry. If it was one word to define that promo, Kurt, it's powerful.
Yeah, but I did like one part before like it really got hot, before it like really got interesting. There was this one part where Cody does acknowledge the whole Sami Zayn thing, and he
Mm.
mentions that whether it's you, whether it's Roman Reigns, I'll see one of you at WrestleMania and may the best man win.
Like I said, like, okay, so before he went on the air, I this was just him. Like, look, I'm going to WrestleMania. I want to make history. I want to win a championship. I want to do something for my family, in my family, that hasn't been done, and that's to main event a WrestleMania and win. Nobody's done that in his family.
Yeah, his father never did it. His brother never did it. He's the first one. It's crazy.
Yeah, you know what I mean. So this is like, to him, like, this is just, look. I just want to get the job done, but later on, as Paul Heyman would show up, it would get personal.
Yes, but before Heyman said what he said, Cody told a story about how in the year 2000 his family was broke to the point where they only had $100 in a Wachovia account for the three of them. And Dusty Rhodes was like doing car commercials, but not for the money, just so he could keep the car. That's how bad shit was at that point. And he
Mm-hmm.
said Paul Heyman offered to pay Dusty to make a one night appearance in ECW and pay him well. And Heyman did keep his word and pay Dusty for that appearance. And Cody said he would never forget that. And he told him, yo, thank you for that shit.
Yeah, and you know what? You know what was even crazy about that at that moment? Like, um, Heyman looked like he was about to break down, man.
Yeah, he was crying. Yeah, he did cry a little
Yeah,
bit.
yeah.
But then this is where it really gets deep. Heyman mentions the final conversation he had with Dusty Rhodes before he passed. And he said that Dusty said that Cody was his favorite son, but Roman Reigns was the son that he always wanted.
And the reason why that he had made that comment is because Dusty Rhodes has trained, a lot of the top stars that we know today. He even trained Roman Reigns. That's why he mentioned that.
Yes, and it also was fitting because they were in Orlando, also where the performance center is.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And yeah,
So yeah,
that line cut like a knife
yeah. And then I just loved. I love the I love the closing segment, the closing
line.
ending to that segment. He literally just went up to his face and, like I said earlier, this was just about me trying to make history, but you want to make it personal. And he says that taking those titles off of Roman would be personal. I was, oh my god.
No, what he said, this is what he said. The way he ended the promo was by saying, "I'm gonna take the undisputed Universal Championship from Roman Reigns personally."
Oh, all right.
And then the segment was
But
over,
still, though.
and I just said to myself after that, "Damn, we get this shit now, and WrestleMania is still only 8 weeks away."
Hmm.
These next few weeks are definitely going to be some must-see TV from the way it's looking right now.
Of course. Tony, man, the WrestleMania build up, the shows get better.
Also, at Elimination Chamber, I have a feeling of another match we're going to be getting because of a way a match ended Monday on Raw, where it was Becky against Bayley in a steel cage match. And as Becky was getting outnumbered by Damage Control, she was saved by Hall of Famer Lita,
Yeah.
who helped her win the match and celebrated with her afterwards. But from the rumors I'm hearing now, they're setting this up for a 6-woman tag at the pay per view,
Okay.
where it'll be all the 3 members of Damage Control against Becky, Lita, and also Trish Stratus.
Oh, I'd love to see that.
We'll see what
Yeah.
happens next week on Raw if they like further build to it. But it looks like Dakota Kai's injured because she was on crutches on Raw, and they said she got injured during the Royal Rumble match.
Oh, for real?
Yeah, they said got hurt during there, and yeah, she was on crutches and everything. And I'm not sure how long she's going to be out for, but if she was out there for the match, I'm assuming she's not going to be out for super long.
Oh,
But with all this going on, like with some of the women stuff going on, I'm just starting to ask myself, what is it gonna mean for Becky going into WrestleMania? Like, where does Becky fit in?
yeah. We never mentioned really talk about that because we just been talking about like what's gonna happen with Bianca and all that, and we never did mention about Becky. Yeah, that is true.
Every WrestleMania she's been in, even before she became the man character, she's been in a title match.
Yeah. Um, it would be a bummer if she's not in the title picture. You know what I mean? I don't know. I don't know, man. It's a bit too early to say right now. We don't. It's a bit too early. That's all I'm gonna say.
The feeling I'm getting is that since they're not gonna do her and Ronda anymore, I guess because of like how Ronda's like run the last year turned out,
Hmm.
I could see the match for Raw at WrestleMania being Bianca, whoever wins the women's chamber match, and then adding Becky and Bayley into that scenario and making it a 4-way. I could see them probably doing that.
Okay. I wouldn't mind it though, but
Yeah, because I can't think of really anything else they would like really do with her. Honestly, I'm trying to like look up and down the roster, and I'm like, who the fuck could they put her in the? I guess they could do her and Bayley again.
just one on one.
Yeah, maybe, but I don't know because I feel like they've already done that already, and
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It would be kind of a little bit far fetched because it would be the feud would have been gone on a little bit too long. I guess I don't know. Uh,
but we'll see. But also
yeah.
on Raw, we had an appearance by Brock Lesnar, who came out high fiving the damn fans.
So that we don't know about
Because
that man's personality sometimes. One moment he's like beating people up, getting mad if something happens to him. And the next thing you know, he's all smiling and high fiving people. You're just like, what the hell, Lesnar? What kind of Lesnar I'm gonna get today? It's scary.
yeah, I've never seen him high five fans before. This shit is very new.
Yeah.
Little with his little cowboy hat and his big smile on his face. I'm like, I guess he wanted to go into the middle of the show so he can get in and out and go to the hoedown down the street,
Oh
roundup
God.
place.
But I like the promo that he gave.
Yeah, he was talking about how like he missed Raw last week because he had to get his head together because he was, all upset about what Bobby Lashley did to him at the Royal Rumble. And he's like, I tried to go hunting, and all I could think about is Bobby Lashley. I tried to go ice fishing, all I could think about is Bobby Lashley. I eat dinner, all I could think about is Bobby Lashley. I get into bed with my wife. 5 hours later, all I could think about is Bobby Lashley.
it
That was funny as hell.
was.
And then Lashley comes out. They have a little back and forth, and then Brock challenges him to a match at the Elimination Chamber and has the contract out for him to sign. The segment ultimately ends by Brock laying out Lashley with an F5 and then putting the contract on his chest and walking away.
Do you think that their feud is gonna end at Mania, where you kind of like just this match is like a, I don't know, like, do you think this is really meant to happen, or is just this match they're gonna have an elimination chamber? Obviously, is this is like a fill in, or just I don't feel like this is not gonna end at elimination chamber.
I would probably say the same thing because also on Raw, we saw that Cedric Alexander and Shelton Benjamin are now once again being managed by MVP.
Mm,
So I'm having a feeling that at Elimination Chamber, they will have the match with Brock and Lashley, but the Hurt Business is going to help Lashley win and they're going to officially reunite. And then they're going to do another match between them at Mania. I think it will probably play out that way.
I feel it.
So the Hurt Business will get back together.
Yeah, I feel like somebody from NXT is ready to make the jump to the main roster that will join the Hurt Business.
If there's anybody who's going to join the Hurt Business right now, although I think they should probably just keep it as 4 people for the time being.
Yeah,
Yeah, but if there's anybody who's going to join now, it would probably be Omos if I had to pick anybody.
I was gonna say Carmelo Hayes.
He doesn't need to be in the Hurt Business. He could right now at least. He doesn't need to be in it right now.
No, why not? Just curiosity.
I feel like it would be fine the way it is, and yeah, I don't think I just don't think he needs to be in it. Just because he's a black dude, that doesn't mean he needs to be in that set group.
Well, it's not just that, Kurt, because he's black. I think because of the fact that how the way he carries himself as well.
Maybe, but I think he would be fine on his own. I think he,
Yeah, I do look at the fact that he's black though, but it goes a little bit deeper than that. I like how his character and how the way he carries himself.
yeah, that's great. That's great, but I feel like he would be fine on his own. But that's another story. So yeah, we'll probably get Brock
Yeah.
and Lashley at the Elimination Chamber with the way it's looking. And I think they'll probably do that match at WrestleMania. It also looks like they're gonna probably do Logan Paul and Seth Rollins at WrestleMania.
Yeah. Did you see the Instagram live that he did that Seth Rollins did?
Oh, saying how he doesn't like Logan Paul. Yeah, I think I saw some of that, or that the other people in the locker room don't like
Yeah.
him either.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I think it's being played up for the match.
Oh yeah, I know, I know.
Should be fun though. Regardless, I think that's definitely gonna be
Hell
something
yeah.
we won't forget.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, so we have Lashley and Lesnar more than likely, Rollins and Logan Paul, and apparently I'm hearing that it's a lock that it's going to be Theory and Cena at WrestleMania.
Yeah, I was hearing that rumor for a while, so I mean, I don't mind it.
I don't mind it either. I think it'll be fun, but the only thing is I don't know if Cena's going to be able like to appear on TV for the next few weeks because I think he's filming something, and I feel like he's not going to be available until like I think like the day of Mania.
Hmm.
So who knows how this will play out? But yeah, so that's another match I'm hearing about. Obviously, Roman and Cody. More than likely, we'll get the Usos against Kevin Owens and Sammy. Also, I'm hearing it's going to be
Yeah.
Dakota Kai and Io Sky against Ronda and Shayna Baszler for the women's tag titles.
At Mania.
Yeah.
Okay.
Also, the Raw women's title match, the Charlotte and Rhea match. Probably Edge and Finn Balor. Also, Dominic against Rey Mysterio. More than likely is going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
And the one match I'm hoping they do, either one way or another, is either Gunther against Sheamus for the IC title or Gunther, Sheamus, and McIntyre in a 3-way for the IC title.
I like to see a 3-way.
I'm good either way, but as long as Sheamus wins.
You would like to see Sheamus win?
He's never been the IC champion. That's the only title in the company he's never won.
Okay.
And what better place to win it?
Okay. But I would love to see a 3-way.
Yeah, I'm good either way. So if they do that match, there's like a scenario of which match should main event night one of WrestleMania show. So it would be between that triple threat that we talked about, the IC title match, the Usos and Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn, or Charlotte and Rhea. Either one of those matches could be the main event of night one.
Charlotte and Rio may be the main event.
I'd be fine with that too because obviously the winner of the Royal Rumble should be in one main event or another, so that would make
Yeah.
sense. But the other two, there is a case you could make for being the main event of night one.
Hmm.
Probably more so Kevin Owens and Sammy against the Usos, but
That will be the first seeing of tag titles in the main event for night one.
It will be a nice nod to the tag titles, considering how up and down they've been over the years.
Yeah.
Also, WrestleMania weekend, we're going to be having the Hall of Fame. There was a picture that came out Monday about the potential inductees this year.
Batista.
Batista, Michelle McCool, Umaga,
Yeah.
Cyndi Lauper, as well as the Midnight Express.
Mm. Cindy Lauper, that'll be that celebrity inductee, so that'll be good.
And also Umaga, I could definitely more than likely see going in, especially with the whole Bloodline thing going
Yeah.
on right now. I could
Oh
see them
yeah.
like doing the induction for him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I could definitely see that happening.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll see what goes on with that. And also, it was announced yesterday that SummerSlam will be coming to Ford Field in Detroit
Yeah.
on August the 5th.
I was shocked. I was in shock. Oh wow. First time since WrestleMania 23, Kurt.
Yeah, it looks like they're really sticking with SummerSlam at stadiums from now on, which I do not mind.
Yeah.
It's a good place for it to be. They
But
never had,
man,
and the first SummerSlam in Detroit since '93, 30 years.
let's hope it's better than 93.
It will be.
Which we know it will though, but still, yeah. I'm just saying. Oh my god.
I'm saying though, but if they're gonna
Oh,
be in Detroit, they need to have Eminem be the guest referee for the main event.
oh my god.
Dead ass.
Oh
Or do like a mixed tag with like Eminem and one dude against Kid Rock and another dude.
yeah, I forgot. Kid Rock's from Detroit. Keep forgetting that.
Yeah, people were starting to turn on him over the last few years because of his political views.
Right.
Yeah, but anyway, also we found out last Thursday that Lanny Poffo, better known to us wrestling fans as the Genius, passed away last week at 68 years old.
Did they say what he passed away due of?
I believe it was heart failure, from what I understand.
Oh man, 68 years old.
Yeah, 68, man.
He doesn't. Is he married? Was he married? Have kids or?
I know he did have a daughter. I know that much that he did have a daughter, but what many of
Okay.
us know him as is also the Genius and also the brother of the late Macho Man Randy Savage. He was in
Uh,
WWE for several years. He was an enhancement talent for the most part until he eventually became the Genius character. And actually, I don't know if you know, he actually wrote those poems himself. Those poems he would do before his matches. Yeah,
oh
he wrote those
really?
himself.
Oh wow.
They were dope too. It's better than most rappers now. Dead ass. He was the Genius character and he was the manager of Mr. Perfect, and pretty much the highest point he was in his career was during that period because he got to work with Hulk Hogan. And one
Mm.
of those times was a match in which he beat Hulk Hogan by countout on an episode of Saturday Night's Main Event.
Oh wow.
That was a big deal for him, bro. Yeah, that shit was no joke. I know it was by countout, but still.
I mean, yeah. I mean, anytime you beat Hogan, it is a big deal.
Yeah, so basically, like during that period, like that late '89, early '90 period, they were like doing a lot of tag matches with like the Genius and Mr. Perfect against Hogan and Beefcake. And yeah, he said that was like the highest profile spot he'd ever been in his entire career.
Wow.
Yeah, he was doing that. And then there was a story at WrestleMania 6 when like Beefcake cut his hair that he didn't know that that was going to be a part of the spot, which is why like he was actually legit running away from Beefcake.
Hmm.
And then it was so bad that actually
Wow.
Randy Savage confronted Beefcake afterwards about it and was pissed off.
Huh.
Yeah, because like they cut the dude's hair and like he didn't know it was happening or that it was gonna happen.
Mm.
Yeah, so he was the Genius character for a while, and then eventually he ended up managing the Beverly Brothers. And then after that, he left the company, and then he eventually did get signed to WCW. But the thing is, they paid him so much money for like the amount of time he was there, but he never once made an appearance on TV. He did accept Macho Man Randy Savage's Hall of Fame induction on his behalf back in 2015, and had a
Mm.
great career. Received a lot of love and a lot of like condolences tweets after the news of his passing. And I just want to say rest in peace to him. Thank you for your contributions that you made to the wrestling business and to us fans that we enjoyed, and you will not be forgotten. Rest in peace.
Rest in peace.
We also found out yesterday that Jerry the King Lawler suffered a stroke in Fort Myers, Florida. He was found by, I believe, his neighbors face down on the floor, and he was taken to the hospital. and he like lost like feeling in the right side of his body apparently.
Yeah.
But as of today, he's doing a lot better. He can speak. He's still very weak, obviously, but he is expected to make a full recovery.
And I just, Dylan is it's not an easy thing, man, because my mom had a stroke. Sorry, I don't want to get too personal though, but yeah, it's just um it's a very serious thing, man. And I'm glad he's doing okay. So thank God.
Yeah, they posted a picture of him in the hospital today.
Yeah, I saw. I posted it on our Instagram page on champs.clash on Instagram.
And also, yeah, and in the meme and the picture, it said he beat a heart attack and he beat cancer.
Yeah.
I'm happy that he's all right and that'll be okay. I don't know what might have led to this stroke, but if it was anything that he may have been doing himself that led to it, I hope he's able to get a better handle on that.
Yeah.
Yeah, but glad he's okay, because that is some scary shit, especially after the heart attack that happened a decade ago, and also the fact that he's also getting older. He's in his 70s now. Yeah, it's not something to fuck around with.
Hmm.
All right, so best wishes to him. Hope he feels better soon. And yes, we are on the road to WrestleMania. And also, actually, before we get out of here, let's talk about a special moment that happened last night in the NBA as LeBron James surpassed Kareem Abdul-Jabbar as now the all-time leading scorer in NBA history.
That is something that we all thought that would never be done, but it was done. We all thought it was going to happen against the Milwaukee Bucks on Tuesday, but I had a feeling that I think it's going to happen. When you average how much LeBron scores, he drops about at least like 30 points a game, 20 to 30 points. He was averaging around 30 points a game lately, so it's not a surprise to me. You just knew that it was bound to happen because all the celebrities were there. Even Kareem himself was there too. But but yeah, man, that is something that I never, or any basketball fan, for that part, would ever think that would happen. But it did happen, and congrats to him. He deserves it, and at 38 years old, to keep playing. And one of the things I do like about LeBron is that how at that age he still keeps his body condition. That's why he still plays as good as he does. So big congrats to him, and as well deserved.
Yeah, once in a lifetime player. If you look up the word longevity, you'll definitely find a picture of him. And
Hmm.
amazing accomplishment. I never thought it would ever happen. It was a record that stood for almost 40 years. And the fact that this dude was able to break that record after all that time, that shit is something worth celebrating. And you knew it was a
Yes.
big deal when they stopped the game for like 15 minutes just to celebrate it and interview him and have him give a speech and all this. Yeah, it was basically like he won the NBA championship.
Yeah.
I mean, unfortunately, they didn't win the game, but that's another story. Shit happens. But realistically, last night was just all about him breaking the record. The game really was an afterthought if you really think about it.
To some yes, some no. After what I've seen, though, when you think about it,
Bro, it's a regular season game in early February.
dude, I'm just going by what I've seen. Kurt, relax.
But yeah, I was happy that Kareem was there for it. I think him and Shaq had a moment afterwards, like after the game, they talked like during inside the NBA. And yeah, his family was there, his wife and kids, and like Rihanna said some words for him. Drake said some words for him. All these other celebrities were like talking about him, and yeah, it's crazy. You would have never thought of all people it would be LeBron to be the all-time leading scorer in NBA history. It's gonna be a long time before somebody ever breaks that record.
Yeah, there's gonna have to be somebody who's gonna be in the league just as long as he is, and just again manage to just pretty much have that mentality. But it's the longevity, pretty much. So I wouldn't count on it. you know that somebody would do it though. But like I said, if it does happen, it will be a long time.
Yeah, but congratulations to him, and it's definitely well deserved. And I'm just happy that I've been a part of an era where I got to see him play.
Hmm.
He's, if not top five, top 10 of all time, hands down.
Of course, of course.
All right, but I think we've said what we needed to say tonight. We are on the road to WrestleMania. Shit is looking popping and more interesting than it's looked in years. and I'm just happy to be along for the ride.
Absolutely, we're going to. I'm going to Hollywood. Damn it, I can't wait. And I keep have to remind myself, like, wow, I'm going to be going to WrestleMania in about 8 weeks from now. So I'm excited, and for one thing, I'm very curious on what the stage is going to look like. It better be good for one thing, but
The fuck you gonna do if it's not good?
bro, it's in Hollywood. Come on, come on.
You're gonna start a riot?
Yeah, you damn right I am.
Throwback to '92?
Yeah,
Imagine if they made the WrestleMania set like that,
no, bro.
designed it like the LA
Oh,
riots.
stop.
Oh
I want
shit!
to see a
I'm actually.
theater. I want to see a theater. I want to see a red carpet.
No one gives a shit what you want to see.
Nobody gives a shit about what you want to see either, Kurt. So who cares? It's not like you're
I
going.
wasn't talking about what I wanted. Anyway, yeah, I was watching A Different World the other day, and yeah, they did that episode about the LA riots where like Whitley and Dwayne go on their honeymoon to LA as the riots are going on.
Right?
And it's funny, they had a fight with NBC to get that episode done, and NBC eventually caved. But to get back at them, NBC basically stopped promoting the show and put it on it at the same time up against Martin, and that pretty much took away a big chunk of their audience. And it got so bad that they were pretty much canceled after that season. And yeah, it was a wrap.
Shit. Wow.
Fucking network politics for you.
Hmm.
Yeah, the actress who played Whitley, Jasmine Guy, even said that like executives from NBC would come up to her and tell her straight up, like the only reason why the show has such high ratings is because it comes on after the Cosby Show and before Cheers.
Damn, that's messed up.
Yeah, and look, I'm not gonna say that show didn't benefit from being in that time slot, but yo, that show had a huge audience and a huge following.
Wow.
Like nowadays, I've been using the word influential a lot, and that show was definitely influential in the sense that people, specifically black people, went to college because of that show.
Oh, really?
They've even said that that show, A Different World, like helped increase the black enrollment rate at most black colleges.
Mm.
That show's influential in that sense, like how Kobe was an influential player, how people wanted to be basketball players because of him, and how people wanted to be rappers because of Nas. That's what A Different World was, as far as like being influential and inspiring people and changing the game.
Oh, well, that's good to hear.
Yeah, because they were doing episodes about subjects and topics that people were not doing on like network TV back then,
Mm.
for sitcoms. Yeah, they did an episode about rape. They did an episode about racial profiling, about going to the Persian Gulf War, the original Persian Gulf War.
Mm.
They did an episode about AIDS, about like sexual harassment in the workplace, using the word "hoe." Yeah, you name it, man. They touched on pretty much every social topic you could think of.
Wow.
Yeah,
I,
that show was all about the culture, bro, and I'd say better than the Cosby Show.
I feel it. It was more like
Yeah,
more
for
family
sure.
oriented though, but yeah, like the other show really hit on a lot of deep topics. So.
And Aretha Franklin bodies the theme song.
Mm.
One of the best TV theme songs and TV opening videos you'll ever see, too.
Mm.
Hell, Tupac was on it once.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. He was.
Yeah, in the last season, because Jada Pinkett became a main character in the show towards the end, and I guess like her friendship with him brought him, and also he was very good friends with Jasmine Guy too, from what I heard.
Mm.
She used to go visit him in prison.
Oh, for real.
Yeah, for real. Yeah, it's crazy that she played that character. She played that character for so as long as she did that. Like, it's to the point where like you can't look at her without thinking of that voice.
I feel it. I feel it.
All right, bro. So for John Randall, this is Kurt Cadet for another edition of the Clash of the Champions. Hope you guys enjoyed the show. Hope you guys enjoyed the road to WrestleMania. Hope you guys enjoyed the Super Bowl, because just like John Randall, his Chargers are going to be watching it from their couch at home. And we'll see you guys next week. Take care.